The atmosphere at Molineux was tense. The date was April 1st, but this was no joke. Both Wolves and West Ham knew the gravity of the situation. Relegation was a real threat for both teams. Wolves, under the guidance of Vitor Pereira, sat precariously above the drop zone. A win would provide a much-needed cushion. West Ham, led by Graham Potter, were desperate to climb away from danger. West Ham, with their superior squad on paper, were expected to control the game. Wolves, however, were banking on their home advantage and the return of their talismanic striker, Jørgen Strand Larsen. The Norwegian international had been sidelined with a fractured hand, but had returned with a brace against Southampton 2 weeks earlier. His presence in the starting lineup provided a much-needed boost for the home side. The opening exchanges were cagey, with both teams trying to establish their rhythm. West Ham, with their possession-based style, slowly started to dictate the tempo. The midfield trio of Declan Rice, Thomas Souček and Pablo Fornals began to assert their dominance, controlling possession and probing for openings in the Wolves' defence. West Ham's early dominance was evident. They controlled possession and penned Wolves back into their own half. Jarrod Bowen and Said Benrahma looked dangerous on the flanks, constantly stretching the Wolves' defence. Despite their territorial advantage, West Ham struggled to create clear-cut chances. Wolves' defence, well organised and disciplined, held firm. Against the run of play, Wolves took the lead in the 21st minute. It was a classic counter-attacking goal. A West Ham attack broke down and Wolves swiftly transitioned into attack. Matthias Cunha surged forward from midfield, releasing Pedro Neto down the right flank. Neto's cross found Strand Larsen in the box, and the Norwegian striker's shot took a wicked deflection off Max Kilman, wrong-footing Łukasz Fabianski in the West Ham goal. The goal stunned West Ham, and they struggled to regain their composure. Wolves, buoyed by their lead, grew in confidence. Their defensive shape remained compact, frustrating West Ham's attempts to break through. The first half ended with Wolves holding on to their slender lead. Graham Potter reacted to the first half deficit with a triple substitution at half-time. Carlos Soler, Niklas Füllkrug and Edson Alvarez were introduced to inject some urgency and attacking impetus into the West Ham side. The changes had an immediate impact. West Ham came out with renewed purpose in the second half. They pressed higher up the pitch, forcing Wolves into mistakes. West Ham's increased intensity almost paid dividends in the 55th minute when Niklas Füllkrug's thunderous header crashed against the crossbar with José Sá well beaten. Minutes later, Thomas Souček missed a golden opportunity from close range, heading wide from a dangerous cross. West Ham continued to press for an equaliser, but Wolves' defence stood firm. The home side, content with their lead, defended deep and in numbers, relying on counter-attacks to relieve the pressure. West Ham, despite their dominance of possession, lacked the cutting edge to break down a resolute Wolves' defence.